Welcome to Cook Serve Delicious 2 and my continuing attempts to do all the Chef for Hire events at all the restaurants and get a medal each time, preferably gold. But sometimes I'm just not good enough. This time around I'm going back to Poppers and Crunchies and shift number 4, which has fried fish, that's either chicken strips or steak fingers, chimichangas, sopillas, and that's either chicken strips or steak fingers. So one of these is steak fingers and one of these is chicken strips. I couldn't tell you which is which. I never remember. I think that's fried okra and that might be tater tots as the sides, with soda and lemonade as the drinks, 45% bars and 8 serving stations. Now all of these foods I either prepare in advance or partially in advance. The chimichanga and those I have to do something with once I'm serving them, but they're prepared partially in advance. The rest are all prepared fully in advance. So, as long as I can keep up with preparing the food in advance, this should be less than painful. Should be doable for me and my skill level, such as it is. Got the chimichangas. Okay, the one downside, I've only got 6 holding slots, which means I can only use one side. Which means I'm going to have to react fast. Oh, didn't mean to do that. Didn't wait for the chimichangas to cook before I started serving that one, so I cooked that chimichanga individually. But it does mean I'm going to have to react quite fast, because I don't have space for the sides, and so one side is not going to last too long. But again, even with my limited skill level, it should be doable. And yes, I mentioned my limited skill level because I'm self-aware. I know how limited my skills are. And I'm not so egotistical that I don't know the limits of what I can and cannot do. I may occasionally try and push past those known limitations, but I do know I have limited skill in various areas. It's one of those things, as you mature, you not only become more aware of, but you're also more willing to admit to. Back when I was, well, when you're a teenager and when you're in your 20s, for example, you tend to believe that A, you're invincible, and B, you're brilliant. When you get past that point, if you've got any self-awareness, you tend to realise that that is not true. And hence, okay, I wasn't expecting to run out of something else just then. Yes. And hence, once you've reached that point of awareness, you tend to, having acknowledged your limitations, you do tend to be, I'm not saying more aware of them, but you're more willing to work within your limitations. That's probably the best way I can put it. Okay, some more chicken strips, and now I want some more fried okra. Okay, I've caught up. Not that's really unexpected. It's not Slammy's Easy, this restaurant, or Slammy's Old Fashioned Barbecue, that restaurant which I find extremely easy. But it's with these foods, it really shouldn't be beyond the realms of relative ease. For for most people, to be honest, most people who pick up this game and play it, this is one of the restaurants which should be relatively easy. It's not that I'm excessively skilled and can do this where others can't. This is one of the restaurants where pretty much most people who play this game should find this one of the easier ones to do. Because it is one of the easier ones to do, literally because of all the food you prepare. Just went out of whatever that is. Oh, okay, those. Oh, okay. Run out of chicken strips. Not ideal at that point, I must admit. Ah! Restaurants like this one, we tend to get plenty of practice at the chores because, as I say, you've already prepared all the food, so hence it keeps throwing chores at you to try and keep you occupied. Which, if you're not practiced at them before you get to restaurants like this, you certainly are by the time you finish playing with restaurants like this. Same with Slammies. It throws multiple chores at you because there's a lot of downtime if it doesn't. So there's my perfect day, and my gold medal, and I unlocked nothing new. That was shift number 4. Shift number 5, okay, shrimp, fish, chicken variety pack, and chicken strips. So that would have the funnel cake, and the chicken variety pack need to be prepared on demand, which at least will give me the holding slots to use both sets of sides. However, that's all for the future. I have one email. Dough, a deer, a deep fried deer. At the Fryerama, you can deep fry anything. What are you waiting for? Call extension 43 for details. Let's get cooking. Okay. I don't remember having ever seen that email before, and that kind of tickled my funny bone. That's going to be stuck in my head now. The Doe a Deer song from Sound of Music is going to be... What's the term they use? Earworm. It's going to be inside my head going round and round and round for the next hours, if not days. Oh boy. Oh well. There's a downside to everything in life, and the email amused me, so now I've got to deal with the songs from the Sound of Music going round in my head. Because it's not just going to be Doe a Deer, it's going to be... Oh... It's probably going to be 3 or 4 songs from the Sound of Music, as well as probably songs which make me think of other things like the trying to think, Mary Poppins and Supercalifragilistic, and then that'll probably lead me on to Bedknobs and Broomsticks, and all films from that kind of era with catchy tunes. I can just see my brain doing those for the next few days. Oh well. These are the pains I'm going to suffer. Woe is me. Okay, that's how I'm going to end this episode. As always, I hope you enjoyed, and I hope you're not singing Doe a Deer as well. And hopefully I will see you down the road for more Chef for Hire events in Cook Serve Delicious 2. Cheerio!